Hi guys, thank you for tuning into our avian home adventure. My name is Colleen, we have Kristen behind us, newest staff member somewhere over here, Kayla, and one of our awesome volunteers, Anne, is behind us. We're super excited to be open to members this week. We thought we would take the time to also explore a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that our staff and our volunteers, who are an extremely important part of what we do, explore a little bit of our building and show some of them off. So we're lucky enough here to have one of our volunteers. I'm going to introduce her. So this is Anne. Anne, could you tell us how long you have been volunteering with us?
Since September of '89. That's 30 and a half years.
What have you done during your time here with us?
I have done a little of everything. I have taken care of rehab birds, RBC birds. I have fed them. I have cleaned their houses. I have taken birds on exhibits and talked to people about the Raptor Center.
Yeah, so she's done a little bit of everything.
Yes.
She's a jack of all trades. And do you have a favorite bird that you like to be around or spend time with here?
I always think I find a favorite one, and then I decide, well, all of them are my favorite. So, yeah.
I think that's a good.
That's a hard question.
Yeah,
That's a good answer.
I
That's
do
good.
really like Kylo right now, the Raven.
Yeah, so the Raven. Yeah.
He's so excited to have us back.
Yeah, I think he is too. So Anne is actually going out and taking care of some of our resident birds today, and going out to feed. Today is chicken day, if you can tell. There's also egg and veggies for our corvids there to give them a very balanced meal. So we'll let Anne get on her way. Thank you for stopping for a minute. Just wanted to show you off. So we're gonna go into our bird care area and our hospital to give you guys a little bit of a behind the scenes look. So we all are enforcing social distancing and wearing masks, so we will do our best to talk through some of this stuff, but it will be a little bit of a challenge. So typically when we're in post-COVID times, people would bring in an injured bird here to our front desk. You can see we have a nice screen installed here too. But we have a really cool area for our hospital staff to check over birds. And this is actually just a window that we could peer into, but on the other side, it is a mirror. So it's going to reflect back at them. And so when people are kind of looking over their shoulder, it won't bother them. So it's pretty cool. I'll try to move slow too, so you guys don't get motion sick as we're doing this. So over here, this is where the rehab team preps a lot of their food and treatments. So we have lots of medications we use. This is all filled with medications. So a lot of our medications aren't actually made for raptors, but for dogs, cats, we have some horse medication. So one of the most common ones is meloxicam. This is a anti-inflammatory that a lot of the birds get if they have any kind of eye trauma or head trauma. This is bone meal, so this is something we sprinkle on their food. It's a calcium source, so we do that pretty frequently. Babies will get calcium and vitamins on every single meal that they eat. All their food is weighed out and put in little cups, and they distribute it that way. You want to peek in the lab? Yeah, let's go into the lab. So we do a lot of in-house lab work. So there's a few things in here. So first we do have a microscope, and we use the microscope for a couple different things. We do blood work, so we're doing CBCs, so complete blood counts. So we count white cells with this. So it's a little counter, so it can keep track of the different white cells that we find too, and which is called the differential. And that gives us a lot of information about their overall health, how their internal organs are functioning, if they have infection, inflammation. So it really gives us a good idea of what's going on. This is a centrifuge, and this is what we use to spin down blood that's in little tubes. So we put it in here, and it spins really fast, and it separates the blood into 3 components. And then we're able to use a couple tools to look at it. So this is a hematocrit reader. So we put the serum, which is the like the clear part of the blood, which is like the white, some of the white blood cells, and we put a little drop here, and then we can look through it, and we get the total protein, which can indicate dehydration. It can give us a good idea of what's going on. What else? So this is, we test for lead in a lot of our rehab patients. A lot of our eagles do come in with lead poisoning. So that's a quick test that's really nice. This is similar to what you would have done at the doctor. So this is, gives us levels of how all of the organs are functioning in the birds. We also do some fecals. So we test their feces for parasites. So some of the parasites that we might be looking for, these are the eggs that actually float to the surface. We put it in something called fecasol. So if they have parasites, we might treat them for that. It's pretty natural for a lot of wild raptors to have parasites, but if they're overloaded, it can affect their overall health. So we would treat them with medication for that. All right. Move on down. Let's go check out our freezer. Yeah, freezer's always fun. It might be a little noisy. Turn on the light. So this is where we keep all of our food for the most part. It comes to us frozen, or we will freeze it, and then we'll do a slow thaw. So that way we don't lose a ton of nutrients when we're thawing them. So we have all kinds of items in there. We have chicken, we have quail, we have fish, we have rat and mouse. So we have a ton of things in there. And I'm gonna quickly pan into here. So this is our thawing area over here. So then we'll thaw them in these fridges over a couple of days. And then we're able to lay out the food and then have it available to our birds pretty quickly. So we can show, this is where we dry owl pellets. So when we go out and we clean our birds or we feed them, we collect owl pellets. So an owl pellet is the undigestible material that an owl kind of spits out after it, and it's usually once a day that they do that. So, so these are all drying. What happens at the next stage is we would put them in it's sort of like an oven that sterilizes them and really dries them out. And then what we could do with those is sell them to a lot of our school groups that come here for programs, and the kids can dissect them and they can really complete a whole skeleton of whatever that owl ate. So it's a really cool activity to really continue the learning of a lot of the kids that come and see us. Yeah, we'll go to X-ray. So this is where we get X-rays or radiographs on our birds. So we do X-rays on our resident birds to make sure they're healthy. We're looking for any changes in their bodies. It could be arthritis. We have a lot of birds that do get pretty old, so we're always trying to track changes. So they get an X-ray about once a year. So what happens when they come in for an X-ray is they're put under anesthesia. So this is a mask. So the head will go right inside here, and then they'll go to sleep. And once they're asleep, then they're not going to be stressed out. And then we can lay them really flat to get a really good X-ray. So this was made a really long time ago. It's really cool. So we can put their feet right in here, and then this kind of goes right over, and we spread their wings out, and we can get a shot of all their bones. And then as soon as we're done with the X-ray, we just turn this off, and they wake right back up. Surprise.
We're doing a little tour for avian home.
Oh, welcome. Hey. See y'all later.
And there he goes.
Yeah, so then these are badges that we wear when we're doing x-rays. And it calculates how much radiation we're getting to make sure we stay really safe. We do wear a lead vest to protect ourselves, which is right here. I'm going to take a look at that. And then this just goes around our neck. So it's really quick. As soon as they're in position, we just snap a shot of the bird and get them on their way.
Pretty cool.
Do you want to
Alright.
take a peek in like one of the kennel rooms?
Yeah.
So this is Dave.
Another person who just.
We're doing an avian home adventure.
Hello.
We thought we'd just surprise people today.
You take a peek in here. This is where some of our critical patients might stay when they first come to us. So there's some incubators to make sure that they're keeping their body temperature up. Some of the babies might need extra heat. And then we keep them in kennels, and that limits their activity while they're healing from any of the injuries that they come in with. So it's kind of a slow process, so they'll stay in here. Once they're doing better, they'll move outside to a bigger enclosure so they can start getting a little bit of exercise.
All right. You could probably maybe take a peek into X-ray.
Yeah.
Just for
Surgery.
surgery. Sorry, you already did X-ray.
You can show them where we eat lunch.
Yeah, I'm sure that's super exciting. I'm sure everybody wants to see where we eat lunch.
So this is surgery. So not really just used for surgery. It can be used even for like physical therapy. Really anything that requires the bird going under anesthesia. So anything that might be painful. We also do surgeries in here as well. So same thing. The birds are masked and slowly put to sleep during the procedure. So these are surgery packs. So in these packs, this means that everything is sterilized inside here. So it goes into an autoclave. And so we're really careful when we open this during a surgery. We don't touch anything inside here. So our veterinarian will have gloves and be completely suited up to keep everything sterile, and he'll very carefully take things out of there. So these are some tubes. This is another way that we anesthetize birds. So if we are working on anything around the face, or it's going to be a longer surgery, we would put this inside of their glottis, which is the start of their respiratory system. It's kind of inside their tongue. So this will just go in, and this will be hooked up to the machine so that they're getting the oxygen and the isoflurane, which is used to keep them under anesthesia.
So again, you guys have been getting a behind the scenes look of our Raptor hospital and our various bird care areas that are not normally open to the public for people to view. So we wanted to give you a little bit of an idea of what happens behind the scenes. I would say that's pretty much the most exciting parts of our facility. So I think we're gonna sign off here. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Please come and visit us on the trail if you're a member. We'll be open to members for a couple of weeks now, and hopefully eventually back to normal in the future. Bye guys.
Bye.